Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about HBO Max's show, The Last of Us, Episode 7. Woo! Gonna get 2 more episodes to go, y'all. Let's get into it, shall we? Spoilers! Okay. So, last episode, Joel got stabbed in the abdomen. And clearly, Ellie has drug him to some house that was nearby. And he telling her to go on without him, just go back to his brother, and everything else. And she like, no. Then she go have a hissy fit in the corner while she listening to him ragged breathing. And this is where we go into the flashback. The flashback of Ellie when she was with Fedra. And when her friend, whose name escapes me at the moment, but I do know it. Don't trip, y'all. I know her girl name. It'll come to me. But anyway, she was getting into it with different students at Fedra School, and her friend was gone at the time, and so she beat the girl up. The head person was telling her, get it together. You're smart, saying you don't want to be a grunt. You want to be an officer. You can tell people what to do and don't have to do the grunt work, And so she's thinking about it at night, and then her friend sneaks in her window and comes and wakes her up to take her out on a night in the town. So they, after some convincing, go roof hopping, and her friend tells her that she joined the Fireflies. That's why she ain't been around. She ran away, joined the Fireflies, now she one of them now. So Ellie's not too thrilled about that, but she go on with her friend anyway because she like her. So she takes her to the mall. Yes, the mall had been shut down because it was full of infested, but apparently not so much anymore. So they get in there. She tell her to go inside, and then her friend cuts the lights on because they had rewired the block. So that's the only reason the mall had power for apartment buildings for people that was moving to the QZ. And so that's the only reason the mall had power. And so she go in there, she cut it on, and then they see all the cool stuff that was going on in the mall, all the shops and everything. And Ellie asking about, what about all these stores and how come people took this stuff and not this stuff, And so her friend was like, well, they must have needed that stuff. The other stuff they didn't need so much when time came. Yeah, we also learned her friend lost her parents. So, she's not too fond of death, and she has seen dead bodies. So, they running around the mall, having fun. She got a few gifts for her, so she, take her to see the video game arcade where they play Mortal Kombat 2. That's what she learned about that in the previous episode from her. She also was ecstatically excited to see electric stairs, i.e. escalators. She had a ball on those. She took her to the photo booth where they took photos and pictures just like they did in the game. It was cool. And she took it to the carousel that they had in the mall, and they got on that and rode that around a little bit. And she had one more gift to give her, but she ended up telling her that she was leaving. And so she wasn't too thrilled about that. So her friend is leaving, going to the she said Atlanta Firefly base, to try to help them out. She's also making bombs for the Fireflies, apparently, and Ellie's not too thrilled about that. So she was going to leave her there and just be mad, storm off mad, but then she thought she was in trouble because she heard screaming, but she came back to this, Spencer-type Halloween shop where one of the little casket things is going off screaming, and then closing and do it again. It was funny. But anyway, they decided to put on some masks and dance around, and then that's when they got a little close, and Ellie got her kiss in, and I was like, yay! But it all came to a screeching halt when a clicker jumped into the system. Oh, wow. Yeah, he had already been there, laying dormant as they do, and their noise kind of woke him up. So, mind you, her friend had been there for quite some time already, staying there for a little while, because that's where the Fireflies had put her as a base. So that's where she was at, making bombs and getting ready to go. So now this clicker attacks them. They have the hardest time fighting this thing off until Ellie finally stabs it in the head and kills it. But not before her friend is bitten in the hand and she's bitten on the arm. Very sad. Very sad. And then her friend gave her a speech about not giving up. They was like, we got options. We could kill ourselves now, get it over with, quick and deadly, or we can just wait it out and see what happens, until we go crazy. But ain't no third option. I'm not going to just give up on life just because I know I'm finna die. Everybody's going to die eventually. If it be a few minutes or a few hours, I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to live through it, and I'm not going to quit. And so that speech is what gave Ellie, in the current timeline, the oomph and invigoration to get up and search the house that they were in for a couple of items that she needed to help save Joel. And so she finds some needle and thread, and she goes to sew up that hole that's in his stomach that needed sewing up. At first I was like, wait, can you get some fire, burn that bitch clothes or something? I don't know. But yeah, she's going to sew them up, and that's how this episode went off. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a little bit more of that flashback next episode. But yeah, currently, Ellie is pretty much on her own, having to do stuff the way Joel taught her how to do it. So that was episode 7. It was interesting. I like the flashback. I like seeing Ellie just enjoy herself. I like seeing where she came from with the federal school. I like seeing her interact with her friend and just enjoy learning about things in the past world that used to be, and just, that childlike innocence. She had a headphone set that she was listening to some kind of music on, and then it dawned on me in that instance that they don't never put, how can I politically correctly put this? They don't put no black people music in there. You don't never hear R&B, you don't hear hip hop. In a post-apocalyptic world, it's always some country song or some rock song that's being played to deliver the message or to express a feeling or a thought that's being displayed by the directors of the content or the writers of the content or whatever it is. Not her friend. No, her friend put on some Etta James and they jammed to some R&B, and I was like, as soon as I had this thought, y'all finally come through with me. I'm like, thank goodness. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Where is the black people don't make music? It wasn't good enough after the post-apocalyptic things happen. There's a couple other post-apocalyptic shows and movies where they do that. They play, popular music, but it's typically something, rock-inspired or, country-inspired, Caucasian-inspired. Typically 9 times out of 10. Unless it's a content that's specifically made for colored people, and then we'll get some, some R&B, some hip-hop in there, a little pop that we can recognize, something like that. But, I was glad to hear the Etta James. I was like, thank goodness, somebody in there with some rhythm, and then they got the chance to dance and all that good stuff. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're having fun in post-apocalyptic times. But anyway, my rant is done. And like I said, that was episode 7. Those are the things I missed, those are the things I liked, and those are the things I didn't like. And I will see you guys next week for the penultimate episode of The Last of Us. Until then, have a great day.